Radio Grade 9s, this is your subject choice information discussion, and in this presentation I'll be talking you through everything you and your parents need to consider in making your choices of subjects that you will take in grade 10. Let's have a look at the overview of what I'll discuss. The first thing is there's a big difference between the general education teaching phase which you are currently in and the further education teaching phase that you'll be entering. And I'm going to highlight those differences. Secondly, we'll have to talk about matriculation exemption and the requirements for your further studies. We'll also look at the information on the different subjects, your actual subject choices that you'll have to make in Global Leadership Academy going to grade 10, and I'll explain to you the process that will take from here. The difference in the FET phase between GET is this, the big difference is the importance of your final exams. Okay, it's going to be up to 75%. Where your year mark, everything that you do through the year counts only 25%. Let's look at what that might look like. And this is more specific to the subject choices. I'm not talking general subjects. There's going to be a practical task that you'll have to do in most of these subjects. Tourism, visual arts, EGD, you name it. Okay, practical assessment task. Then you've got 2 papers in the final November exam for grade 12, each one counting 25%. And that gives you a total of that 75 that I've been talking about. The school-based assessment, that's only 25%. And that's all the other tests, all the other exams you write during the course of this year. With languages, this part maybe falls away and then it becomes your third paper in those final exams. But you'll see here a big emphasis on the exams. And how do you prepare for the exams, the final exams? By actually doing your best in your school-based assessment. Rightio. Then there's also, of course, now you've got your 4 compulsory subjects that you need to take, and then you've got your 3 subjects that you have to choose. And these are the important decisions that you'll be making in the coming weeks. So, first of all, the compulsory subjects, you'll have to choose between Afrikaans huistaal en Afrikaans eerste addisionele taal. En hierdie natuurlik as jy in die huistaal is dit dan verplig, en die Engelse baan gaan Afrikaans eerste addisionele taal. Your second one would be either English home language or English first edition language. Again here, it's possible for a learner in the Afrikaans stream to also choose English home language if they qualify for that, but that will be determined between you and your actual teacher. Then life orientation is compulsory. And then your second choice is between mathematics and mathematical literacy. Now, please understand here, mathematics, that's for the serious ones wanting to study engineering, medicine, etc. Maths lit, that's more a general background on maths that equips you for life after school. All right, then the pass requirements. Now, these are the minimum pass requirements. Of course, we're not aiming for this, but you need to actually take note of this. So you have to pass 3 of your 7 subjects with at least 40% average, of which 1 must be an official language on home level. Okay. Then you've got pass 3 subjects with 30%, level 2s. So you've got your first 3 that you have to pass with 40%, of which 1 must be home language. Your second grouping of 3 subjects must at least have 30%. And lastly, you can fail one of those 7 subjects, but you must have proof of work done. That's the SPA here. Okay, so these are the minimum requirements. I know none of you is going to be aiming at these, but just for you to know what are the passing requirements. And then, of course, there's no grand total. Like in previous years, we work on these symbols. All right, next up is, what do you need if you would like to study further? Let's say you're just interested in doing a higher certificate after matric, maybe it's 6 months course, certificate course. It can differ in what decisions you have to make here, but that's the minimum for further studies as a certificate course. The minimum requirement of the National Senior Certificate will be 30% in the medium of instruction of the institution that you are going to be studying at. So there's a very low access to a higher certificate. It's only 30% in the language of instruction of the institution. All right, when you want to go study a diploma, maybe that's a year or 2 years, then that is a national certificate with a minimum of 30% in the medium of instruction of the higher education institution as well, and 40 to 49% in at least 4 of those subjects. So keep that in mind. The difference here, the the 4 other subjects if you would like to study a diploma, between 40 and 49%. Again, minimum requirements, these might be different from the different institutions, but we're just saying minimum available to us. If you would like to study at a university, again, 30% in the medium of instruction, but 50 to 59% in 4 of your subjects. That is very important, and that's a much higher achievement than the previous diploma. Again, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that these are the minimum requirements. You will have to determine, from the universities or the colleges, what their specific requirements might be. These are just really the minimum as specified. Okay, with regard to subject choices, you then have 7 groupings out of which you have to choose at least 1 subject. So in the first grouping, you have to choose between Afrikaans huistaal en addisionele taal. In the second one, English home language, English first edition language, and then the difference between mathematics and mathematical literacy. Again, there's your choice there. And there's going to be, certain requirement for entry to mathematics. So really work hard on your maths in grade 9. Then life orientation, that's compulsory for everybody. Then here comes the exciting part. What can I choose in group 5? Okay, in group 5, you can choose one of these: physical science, history, computer applications technology, and visual arts. You need to choose one of them. Take note that CAT, due to the nature of that subject, only offer English as well as visual arts. In group 6, again, one of these you need to choose. You've got life sciences, business studies, and engineering, graphics, and design. All right, and then in group 7, the last choice you have to make is one of these. It's either accounting, tourism, CAT again, drama, or IT. And please note these last 3 again in English due to the nature of the subject only. All right, so you can still take them if you have Afrikaans home language, Afrikaans, jou wiskunde is Afrikaans, jou lewensoriëntering is Afrikaans, jou fisiese wetenskap is in Afrikaans, jou lewenswetenskap in Afrikaans, maar jy mag dalk hier CAT vat, dan is dit natuurlik net in Engels. Okay, take note of this. Then let's look at some general information here. We're going to have a subject information day, which we will market to the grade 9s, where they will actually be able to visit the different subject choices, where the teachers will have a quick 10-minute presentation, and where they will be able to ask and their questions and get answers to them. So keep out, we'll notify you on that. Then we will also share with you a link to a subject choice form, which you will have to submit online for us. And in that form, we'll get all the information and your actual choices that you've made. All right. Then you need to do the necessary research to make sure you are prepared when making these choices. Please, if you are interested in studying something like engineering or medicine or any other course, please make sure already now what are the requirements of these courses. All right. Next up, this is just a disclaimer. We, of course, reserve the right to alter the subject groupings depending on the numbers, although that hasn't happened in recent times. There will be a screening process for certain subjects, especially like in your drama or your visual arts, your engineering, graphics, and design. Those subjects will have some requirements that you'll have to meet. Okay, and then if you do make a mistake, everything is fine. Why? Because you have ample opportunity to again change subjects later. In grade 10, end of term 1, you can change, and again at the end of June. All right, so there's 2 opportunities. In grade 11, there's 1 more opportunity to change, and then unfortunately no changes are allowed in grade 12. But we will guide you through this process of changing subjects if it is really needed. Please keep in mind that you will have to then change to a subject in that specific grouping that I've mentioned. Okay, then of course you have to do again your own research, and here's a great resource for you to visit, gostudy.net. Make sure you do make a visit to this website and find out more details with regard to subject choices and what possible opportunities there are after school. Okay, and then of course, if there's any questions, please make sure you contact us 042-293-3053 or send an email to academics@glajbay.org. We'd love to talk with you and answer those questions. Thank you for watching. Now it's your turn. Cheers.